All right, lads. I'll give you Blackbeard's honest opinion. You ask me, can this new captain promise you a life of prizes, plunder, and adventure? Aye. For amongst all the gentlemen of fortune sailing these West Indies, he ranks amongst the most clever. There was a time when I thought myself the deadliest scourge of these seas. But this man is a fearsome dog that feeds off trouble and turmoil. I seen him clear the deck of a Spanish galleon like it were nothing. Fighting like a devil, dressed as a man. And he's a canny one. Knows his way round every crag and crevice of these islands. So if it's fortune and adventure you seek, then Captain Edward Kenway's your man. Only, don't meddle in his private affairs. For there's more mystery to that man than even I dare ask.
Hello and welcome to the final stream for my unique playthrough of Black Flag. Hey there Brutus, welcome, hope it's going well. Hey there Grace, good time zone to you, welcome on in. So here we go. The last stream that I did towards this playthrough was back in September. The 16th of September. And we are now 4 months later. At least I still have another hour left before it becomes more than 4 months, as in 4 months and 1 day, but it still counts. So 4 months ago, we actually did the last stream for Unique Playthrough, and I'm going to keep on going until I finish the game in this stream. And I need to re-edit some stuff, but there was the most recent recap that I had done, and I'm going to do another clip for recapping how much time has actually passed with this before actually jumping into the game again, and sort of like explain where we're up to in the story and why I made one exception with the approach. Brutus, that 4 months went by fast. It really did, you know. Like, imagine how much stuff you can do and get done, or stuff that happens in 4 months of time, you know. So, yeah, it's just crazy, you know. Grace, me in my backward states. It's so funny though. It's weird because, like, being in a time zone that starts off ahead as others, because it's a certain day, it means that I can get away with streaming when it's Wednesday for me, for example, but I can also keep going until, you know, when it's Thursday for me, i.e. it ticks over past midnight, and it can still be, you know, and it can still be Thursday. So if I want to, and the only reason I don't is simply because of energy. Like, if I wanted to, I could do a stream of, you know, a Saturday game, and then when it hits midnight, after finishing that stream of that other game, I could just start up another stream of the Sunday game that I have. It would still be Saturday for other people, of course, but it'd be Sunday for me, so I could do that. But yeah, I don't worry about doing that because usually when I've finished a stream and it's late, I just don't have any more stream energy left. Because, I mean, I'm still awake, like I'm not tired, as in, oh, I need to go to bed. I'm just, energy-wise with streaming and all that kind of stuff, it's just like, boom, you know, so, but yeah, time zones are stupid. They definitely can be, That's for sure. I guess so. Like we have an advantage too that we can sort of get things like if something releases on a certain date, we sort of can get them a bit earlier as well. Harbinger, you're still not using timestamps in Discord. Yeah, I don't know, Harbinger. I mean, not everyone who comes to the stream comes through from the Discord as well. But yeah, I just don't like setting a time and then not being able to stream at that time and then be like, right, I'm going to come back in half an hour, and then in a half an hour time I might not feel like streaming and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, the best I can do at the moment is just put in what time it is for me and what time zone. So then people can use the website called Google to convert from one to the other. You were so close to buying Alan Wake 2 today, chose to buy a shirt instead in real life gear. Well, that's fair enough, Harbinger. Alright, so I need to edit that message. And as far as I'm aware, I'm the only person in the world who has done a playthrough of this kind, for this game at least. I don't think anyone else in the world has literally waited IRL the same amount of time that an in-game character has told their character to meet them, you know. Alright, so let's go in and load up the command for unique. Alright, so I've got that ready, and I'll have to make a clip when I do my official recap. Okay, so I'm going to go and do my official recap, and then make a clip of that, and then I'll update that message with the link to the most recent recap as well. Okay, so the last stream towards the unique playthrough was 4 months ago. Usually in this playthrough, I've made it that when a character tells Edward to meet them in a month time, I wait a month in real life. Where we're up to in the story though, there's no character that says to meet 4 months later, but I decided to make an exception, and so this memory that we're about to start, it'll come up with a title saying 4 months later, and so here we are, 4 months later. The last stream of this was the 16th of September 2023, and this current stream is the final one for the playthrough 4 months later in 2024. So I'm back and I've edited that, and so the command, when I put it in, should have that recap that I just did as part of it. There we go. You didn't wait a year until while Ed was in prison. You have to restart the entire playthrough. This run is invalid. Well, Harbinger, you're more than welcome to do this kind of playthrough yourself and actually wait the amount of time in every instance where it has a time stamp. But as I said, there was only one exception I was making for this playthrough, and that is the exception of this memory here, which takes place 4 months after the previous memory took place. And so, let us jump right into it.
What's your name? Billock? Kenmore? Conway?
It's Walpole, ain't it?
Walpole? Where'd you get that?
And that's the rumour going round. As dirty and daft a pirate as ever sailed these West Indies.
Well, whatever his name, you gotta make sure he suffers without dying. Orders from the governor. And back to the prisons at sundown.
And massage his feet if he's...
Quiet!
Open this gibbet.
Ah!
Stop your twaddle. Quiet, you!
Oi! Oi! Stop that!
Good morning, Captain Kenway. I have a gift for you. Do not mistake my purpose here. I have come for Anne and Mary, and you owe me nothing for this. But if you would lend me your aid, I can promise you safe passage from this place.
I'll need weapons.
You are comfortable with this, I am told. We must hurry.
Hello there, Sadie. Welcome on in. I hope things are going well. Black Flag is treating me really good. I'm resuming a playthrough that I had started last year, but it was a different kind of playthrough where in the game there's certain times where the character will say to Edward, meet me in 2 months' time. So I've actually waited after that point in the story 2 months of real time before resuming the story again. And so I made an exception for this part of the story where it comes up with a title card saying 4 months later. So this stream is actually 4 months after the previous stream on this same playthrough. So I'll keep on going until I finish the main game. So we're in the later stages of the game. We're in sequence 11 of 12, so I'll definitely be finishing this in one stream. But yeah, Black Flag is going really well. And to recap what's happened, if I can see... Well, I can't really recap. Well, I can actually go to the last memory. So the last memory in this playthrough was the observatory. Edward and Bartholomew Roberts fight their way through treacherous jungles to reach the entrance of the observatory. But what ends up happening is Bartholomew Roberts betrays Edward and basically gives him to the authorities because there's a bounty on his head. And Edward has been languishing in prison. And the memory that we are doing in this stream to start with is 4 months later. And so, to suffer without dying. After escaping from almost a year of imprisonment, Edward breaks back into a British military prison with the assassin Artabai to free Anne and Mary. If I wasn't doing the playthrough with the details that I had come up with, then I would have had to wait a year. But I decided only to create the exception for this last memory. But yeah, if anyone would like to actually wait a year, be my guest. But every other point in the story, it's always been when a character says a certain amount of time. And this exception is for this memory only, where it has a title card saying the amount of time. Sadie, that sounds fun. And yeah, your grand thanks. Got up early and read some more of your book. You might do a cheeky stream later, but you can't decide. I'm glad to hear that you're going good, Sadie. That's awesome. That's really good. I hope that you've been enjoying the book that you've been reading. What book have you been reading? And yeah, I know what that feels like too sometimes. Like there's been days where I felt like doing another stream or doing a stream, later my time. And then sometimes I'm like, no, I don't really feel in the mood to do that. Because, it comes through on the stream if you're not really in the mood to stream, I feel. I'm not worried about listening to all the dialogue or getting the optional objectives done or anything like that. I've done plenty of playthroughs last year for this game to celebrate its 10th anniversary where I did various different things. So this unique playthrough is simply just finish the story.
You'll not escape. Come here.
Maybe he has friends looking out for him.
Or money, like Steve Bonnet from Barbados.
No, they hanged him too.
Did they?
Aye. Blubbering and bawling, he collapsed at the gallows, weeping like a little lamb.
Serves the bastard right.
You weren't much of a friend, Jack Rackham, nor an able sailor neither. But you were strange and lively, and you made me laugh more than once. And that's enough to make me sorry for seeing you like this. I hope you found a lasting peace, down there among the dead.
Hey Lucinda, good morning. Welcome on in. I am ready to finish it, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it feels strange. And I mean, I've played this game 6 or so times last year, with relatively short times between. And so from that perspective, it's not a different feeling, but it certainly is a different feeling when you know that you've been waiting IRL time to continue a playthrough on a different save file that is very time-based, like the playthrough I've been doing. And so, yeah, it feels a bit interesting to be on the final leg of this long journey, So you started one of the Star Wars Legends books, Dawn of the Jedi Into the Void. It's pretty fun and you're enjoying it. Oh, that's good. That's great that you're enjoying it, Sadie. It's been a very long time since I read a Star Wars book. I think it was one of the books that had Han Solo and Leia's twins, Jason and Jaina. It was one of those books, I think, but I can't remember the name of it though. And as for what books I like, the last book I read was Stephen King's It, and that was a long time ago now. I do like reading books, but it's one of those forms of media that I definitely over the years have done less and less of. Hey there, Schiller. It's going really good, thank you, dude. And how is the rest of the Hag at Hackett's Quarry? The Hag of Hackett's Quarry? The Hag of Hackett's Quarry? How did the rest of the stream go? And did you lose anyone? Is everyone still got their their lives, or Cindy? Yeah, when did this playthrough start? Last year. That's a good question, actually. Let's see. If I put in this and then click on that, because I don't have the thing open, but if I have a look, search for unique. So the first stream of this was 7 months ago as part of this playthrough. So the first stream was 7 months ago. The second was 6 months ago. The third was 5 months ago. The fourth was 3 months ago. And yeah, so now it's 4 months. But then again, when YouTube counts months, it doesn't give you an accurate actual like upload date unless, you know, you go into your own information and find it. And that should have like a different time and things. Thanks for redeeming that Arnie impression, Schiller. The Hag of Hackett Quarry. The Hag of Hackett Quarry. The Hag of Hackett Quarry. I had to be careful there because I almost started going into tongue twister territory with that. Thank you so much, Sheila, for redeeming that. Whoops. I put my hand back down on the controller to rest it and my thumb touched the whistle button. The other day, I think I was playing Splinter Cell Blacklist and I put the controller on my left leg and I was doing something. I think I was grabbing a drink while something was going on. And as I put the controller past the table that I had my laptop on, the button to throw a flashbang or a grenade was pressed as I was doing that motion. And so Sam threw something. Sheila, Caitlin, and Laura died. The White Wolf is still roaming around. Oh no, you lost Caitlin and Laura. Oh damn, Sheila. Well, that's good going though. Especially because, you know, for first playthroughs, you don't know what's coming. You know, you could, I mean, obviously playing their other games, you get an idea of what sort of things to look out for as potential, you know, death traps. But yeah, you just don't know sometimes when playing one of those games for the first time who you're going to get. Yeah, that was a bit of a few. Or are you saying that in relation to Harbinger with his comment? I'm not really worried for side for optional objectives. I do want to speak to the characters that are Edward's, you know, friends, though. But for the purposes of this playthrough, I don't have to worry about any extra stuff. So let's have a hallway fight.
You won't lose us.
Got him. Listen to the hack of Hackett Quarry. Sadie, now I dare you to say it 10 times as fast. The Hag of Hackett Quarry, 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 the Hag of Hackett Quarry. I fucked it up. But yeah. Sheila, you're happy with that result and you know where you made your mistakes. Well, that's good, Sheila, as well. Especially if you do your next playthrough and then you know what to look out for and stuff. And so how do you feel about the old lady? For those who don't know, Supermassive Games with their horror games like Until Dawn, the Dark Pictures series, and The Quarry, they like to have a character that sort of acts as like a bit of a host or a bit of a bridge between chapters of the story. So in Until Dawn, it's a psychiatrist that at certain points in the story, the game will have you talk to this psychiatrist and answer questions. In the Dark Pictures series, there's a character called the Curator, and he's kind of this guy who tells stories and he can't influence what actually happens, but he writes and takes note of the stories that are being lived. In The Quarry, they actually have an old woman who is basically looking for tarot cards of hers, and so you can collect these in the game as well. Maxi, good day to you, dude. It is going really, really good, thank you, Maxi. And thank you very much for the 26 months in a row, dude. That's amazing. Thank you so very much for that, Maxi. How's things going for you today? Sheila, you like the Curator much more, but she is better than the Doctor in Until Dawn. Well, that's good. Yeah, the Curator, he's hard to beat. I feel there's just something really cool about that character, and I'm interested to see if they do any more sort of like things about his character in terms of like maybe giving us some more hints about his backstory. I mean, people have a lot of theories about, you know, who he actually is or what he represents and all that kind of stuff already, so but it'd be interesting to see if they do any more sort of like backstory. But at the same time, I hope they don't do too much of that, because it'd be good to still have a bit of an air of mystery about him. Can more? Can way? Nah, it's Walpole, ain't it? No, it's Captain Pissoff.
Hello, Vane. I'd caught wind you'd been discovered and brought here. Didn't hear what happened after, though.
Don't me!
Best of luck to you, mate. I wish we'd parted as friends.
Is health to the king, and a lasting plea to faction and to well-think me. Come, let us sing while we have read, as there is no ringing. And he that will is held in high. Down among the dead. Down among the dead. Down, 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 down. Down among the dead man has him high.
Maxi, you're doing good, thanks, dude. You're just preparing to go outside and to get some new trainers as your old ones are wearing out. How is Black Flag going? Well, that's great, Maxi. I'm glad to hear that you're doing good. And I really hope that you get some really good trainers as well. I hate it when you have shoes that just start to wear out on you, and all sorts of things, you know, can happen, like, you know, you might trip over or something like that, so that's definitely good. And Black Flag's going well, dude. Finishing off the unique playthrough. It's been quite a long journey. This is definitely the opposite of a speed run, I can tell you that. But yeah, it's going really good. Yeah, it's so sad what happens, Lucinda, with Vane. You know, he went mad and all that, but it's understandable that he was angry at Edward and what had happened. But yeah, it's a shame that he doesn't, you know, get his head 100%. I just realized that the timed version of the message had old information on it. So that's the... Hang on, what have I done? Oh, Rod, you fool. It's alright, I can get it back. It's just that I just realized that I've put... Because usually I do a version of the timed message as a command message. So I'll just go in here and actually edit that. So it's the actual clip that I made at the start of this stream, not the clip for the previous stream to this one. Hang on, I must have got the wrong friggin' bloody link. How the hell did that happen? Yeah, look at my own history of messages. Here we go. Alright. Sorry about this. I just want to get this right so that for the rest of the stream it actually has the right info. So it has the right clip. Alright, let's try this again and see if I got it this time. There we go, that's better. 4 months after last stream is what that should have been. Maxi, yeah, you've definitely been on this for a long time, but definitely a game that deserves it. Well and truly, dude. And when I was trying to come up with different ways to play the game, I can't remember when it was, but I was like, hang on. There's a lot of points in the story where Edward gets told, meet me in 2 months' time or 1 week or whatever. What if I did a playthrough where I actually waited that amount of time in real life? And I thought, I don't know of anyone who's done that before. Listen, you usually have the timed message just call the command. Oh, that's a good way to do it. I hate that. There's no way that they saw Edward climb up on those boxes.
Mary? Mary, it's me, Edward.
Edward? Who's this fella?
It's all right, Anne. He's a friend. What's wrong with Mary?
She's ill.
And her child?
They took her. No idea where. Oh! Oh! Oh!
I know it pains my lady, but we must be silent.
Can you walk? Lean on me, Mary. Come on.
I can't.
Search every step!
Come on, that's it. You're all right.
Stop, please.
I ain't leaving you, damn it. Lift your arm.
It's no good.
There's no one here!
I ain't leaving you nowhere. No bloody way.
Put me down, Edward. Don't die on my account. Go.
This is such a pain in the ass. Damn it. You should have been the one to outlast me.
I've done my part. Will you?
If you came with me, I could. Mary.
I'll be with you, can we? I will.
I didn't actually realize, but you don't actually have to carry Mary all the way back to here if you don't want to. And for my playthrough where I did a story focus recently, I decided to actually see what that felt like. Nothing changes about the dialogue. If you don't take Mary, the cutscene dialogue still plays. It's just that one version Edward is holding Mary, and the other one he's not, and there's a different camera angle, a different camera shot. But that was only a one-time thing. It feels so wrong. Like, when I first played this game, I was like, I'm not going to fucking leave Mary's body just lying around in this fucking prison on this dirty floor like nothing, or, out of... I mean, we're still in the prison here, but, I was like, fuck that. The only thing is, the enemies will actually attack you as you're carrying the body, which is very annoying because they will make you drop Mary, so it's kind of like a catch-22 type thing, but yeah. Yeah, Lucinda, it's one of those moments where, like, it's not just an assassin who's dying, it's actually someone who really, really, really believed in Edward. She believed in him so much that even though there were so many times where she could have just given up on him and been like, no, he's too far gone, she just, still believed that there was something in him that was more than just, some pirate going around not giving a care for anything and, just wanting money. Maxie, what's up with her arm in Edward's head? It's no okay. Oh, I didn't actually see. Yeah, I didn't actually notice, Maxie. Was it clipping through? Sheila, you always know what's coming, but this scene always makes you sad. Same here, Sheila, like, absolutely. Like, and when you make it go in slow motion, it even, drives that even further. Listen, you can't remember what you did now. Yeah, I can't even remember what you might have did as well with this. I mean, it's interesting that they have it as something that you could do. But it's one of those things too, like, people who don't do that, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I just felt myself that I didn't want to just drop her body there and just, leave. It felt right. It's like in Assassin's Creed 3, when Radunga Haydu and Connor, when his friend Canon Dolkon gets killed, I hate leaving his body just lying there like nothing. But if you take his body back to the village, the clan mother actually freaks out and glitches, and she won't go near you, and you won't be able to interact with her anymore, which is understandable, because you're carrying a dead body. But it's one of those things where it's like, it would have been good for players who did carry his body back to have something happen, Maxie, yeah, it looked like she had her arm right inside his head from the back. Oh, wow. Ooh. Imagine that in real life. That would have hurt.
What's happened to Mary? What's wrong?
Is she gone?
Oh, no. Oh, God! Oh!
What will you do now?
Nothing sensible.
You haven't earned this, but they suit you. Good fortune to you, Edward Kenway.
You haven't earned these yet, but they suit you. You bloody well will earn them. I can tell you that.
Bring a bottle. I see some color first.
Will this do? In all your years out here, you could never achieve what I've done in 1/5 the time. Because you're a good man, Edward, see? Goodness is your disease.
That's my prize, Roberts. Now give it here!
Remember my creed, boy. A short life and a merry one, that is all. The world owes us nothing more than this. So take what you will, and then die before you live to see yourself made a fool.
Give it here.
That's right, boy, take it.
I'll sweeten you, maggot. I'll cut you down!
Yeah, Maxie, have they got another pair? I'm sure the old ones must stink of sweat. Yeah, it's not like they got them washed and dry cleaned or something.
Calm, little puppy, and slink back to your kennel. You haven't the mettle for my brand of madness.
Roberts! Welcome aboard, Kenway. It's prizes, plunder, and adventure ahead. Are you game? Out of my way, Ben.
Raise a glass to freedom, lads. Here's to gentlemen of fortune and women of leisure.
To a world full of rogues, better than all the kings and queens that kick us about.
As gentlemen of fortune, we enjoy plenty and satisfaction, pleasure and ease, liberty and power. What man with a sensible mind would choose the former life? For I have dipped my hands in muddied waters, and, withdrawing them, find 'tis better to be a commander than a common man!
That's absolutely no worries at all, Maxie. Thank you so much for popping in. I hope everything goes well. And thank you. I definitely will have a good time with AC. Would like to highly recommend people check out Maxie's channel if you haven't before. He's doing a playthrough of Star Wars Jedi Survivor. He's also a fan of JRPGs, like Final Fantasy, and he's also a big fan of Assassin's Creed as well. The most recent game in the series he did a stream of was Assassin's Creed Mirage. And he also has some very funny channel point rewards that unlock hilarious video and audio rewards. So highly recommend checking out Maxie if you haven't before. A wonderful streamer with a great channel. And no worries for the shout out at all, Maxie. I hope you have a good one, dude. Harbinger, you're already regretting your decision. Take the shirts back, please. You need Alan Wake too. You need it. I needs it. I need the maps, partner. I needs it, as Seth would say. It's a glass eye! It's a glass eye! He'd also say that too.
Once wrote of an eagle soaring high above a shepherd's field that swooped down on powerful wings to seize a grazing lamb and carry it off to her nest. Flying close by, a jackdaw saw the deed, and it filled his head with the idea that he too was just as strong and capable. So, with a great flapping and rustling of feathers, the jackdaw came down swiftly and clutched at the coat of a large ram. But when he tried to fly away, he found he could not lift the animal, for his size and strength were not up to the task. And even as the jackdaw struggled, the ram hardly noticed it was there. Nearby, just across the field, the shepherd saw the fluttering bird and was quite amused. Running up, he captured the jackdaw and clipped its wings. That evening, he gave the jackdaw to his children as a gift. "What an odd little bird this is, father," they laughed and shouted. "What do you call him?" "This is a jackdaw," the father said. "But if you should ask him, he would claim to be an eagle."
God forbid any form of sense
Hello there, Senny. Thank you so very much, dude. Swooping in with the 47 months in a row. Muchly appreciated. That's awesome, dude. Who does the number 47 remind you of? Hint, he likes to be bald and wear suits. Indeed. Sometimes he likes to go on the runway and be a model. Thank you so much, Crooked. I really appreciate it, dude. Welcome on into you. I hope things are going well. I hope you've been having a good weekend so far. Welcome on in. Crooked, your agent didn't like the runway. Oh no. It's like, I don't want to go on the runway. Get me off of here. It's like, but it'll blow your cover. I don't care. I want to get off the runway. I didn't find them. These are souvenirs.
You better be ready to prove it!
No more than 2 years! You promised me!
You left! When I needed you the most!
But you had me! What keeps you wondering? Do I not make you happy?
I'm so close, Caroline! Please! Just let me do this!
Is everything you do out of spite, Edward?
It's not spite that's driving me, Mary! It's courage!
Courage for what, man? There's no one left in your life to care.
God damn you all! I can handle this!
Lout! Always tearing down when you could be building things up, or building yourself up if nothing else.
Just leave me be!
Change course, Edward! Change your bloody course before it's too late!
Captain Kenway! You look like a bowl of plum duff.
Christ! Oh, I've got a head for 10.
On your feet.
You put me on the spot, Addy. After leaving me with Robert, I shall have hard feelings about seeing you here. But mostly I'm bloody glad.
Me too, brother. And you'll be chuffed to know your jackdaw is still in one piece.
Shall we set sail? You're leaving?
Aye, Edward. For I have another calling elsewhere.
Ade, listen.
When your heart and your head are ready, visit the assassins. I think you'll understand then.
It's a small quote, but I love it when Addy says, "Me too, brother." Crooked, you love how eerie and introspective this mission is. I do too, and I really like surreal sequences in video games, and this is one of my favorite ones. And what's going on, and the symbology and, like, you know, all this kind of stuff, it's just really, really well done. And it gives us a bit of a glimpse into how it is for someone who has eagle vision when they're drunk as well. And of course we get other examples of that in the series. But yeah, I really like surreal sequences, and I think that the way in which they decide to do them in Black Flag, with that whole sequence, in Unity, with the sequence when Arno's initiated, the sequence in Origins when Bayek fights Apep in his dream, you know, I just love how they take something that you would see in a fantasy game, but in a context that isn't fantasy, but in the case of Edward, it's just that he's getting blind drunk, you know, and plus he's got eagle vision, so, and his hallucinations is very strong, you know, and all that kind of stuff. With Arno, what he drank and his eagle vision, you know, is coming into play. In Origins, it's a dream that Bayek has, you know. So I like how they use those sequences to do something that still fits what's actually happening. It's just that the context for it is that it's a dream or a hallucination. It's not actually, happening for real. But to the person it is, Hey there, Dirty Gertie. Happy New Year to you as well. Welcome on in. How's things? Crooked, what a bowl of plum duff. Looks like... I've never actually had a look. A bowl of plum duff. Yeah. I think that analogy actually suits. If you have a look. That's for sure. Let's have a look-see at getting some supplies again. And also how my ship is. Because I haven't touched this save file for 4 months in real life. So, don't remember what I might have or might not have. Kroger looks 100% like Edward. It does.
Come, be most welcome, Signore.
Everything is permitted.
Jesus, Ade, what the hell happened here?
You happened here, Edward. The damage you caused 6 years ago has not been undone.
I'm not an easy man to call a friend, am I? Is that why you're here?
To fight beside a man so driven by personal gain and glory is a hard thing, Edward. And I have come to feel the assassins and their creed a more honorable course. Have I been unfair?
No. For years I've been rushing around taking whatever I fancied, not giving a tinker's curse for those I hurt. And yet here I am, with riches and a reputation, feeling no wiser than when I left home. Yet when I turn around, look at the course I've run. There's not a man or woman that I love left standing beside me.
There is time to make amends, Captain Kenway.
Mary. Before she died, she asked me to do good by her, to sort out the mess I made. Can you help me?
Edward has changed so much for the good.
Mary was fond of you, Edward. She saw something in your bearing that gave her hope you might one day fight with us.
Aye. She told me.
And what do you think of our creed?
It's hard to say. For if nothing is true, then why believe anything? And if everything is permitted, why not chase every desire?
Why, indeed.
It might be that this idea is only the beginning of wisdom, not its final form.
That's quite a step up from the Edward I met here many years ago.
Crooked, probably one of your favorite Edward scenes right here. Me too, dude. Absolutely.
Kenway, well met.
And there's an honesty and sincerity in what he's saying too. He's not saying it because he's
Kenway.
telling Artabai what he thinks,
Kenway,
or telling Adewale what he thinks he wants to hear. He honestly, truly, has realized, the shit that he's caused, the things that he's done. That's a great way to put it, Lucinda. He says it in a sobering way. Exactly, And when he was getting the Templar ring, when he was pretending to be Duncan, when Torres is giving the rings out, when he passes the ring to Edward, he says, "And guide all wayward souls to sober mind and thought," or something like that, you know. And I thought that was a very apt kind of thing, and very, you know, cool that they did that kind of stuff, you know. And he has, you know, he's definitely sobered, and he honestly wants to make amends, you know. And that's not just for what he did to cause all these problems with the assassins and that, but also, unfortunately for him, he's not able to, but to go back to England and his wife Caroline and actually, you know, fix things with her and stuff. But yeah, that desire to actually make amends and everything and all that. And yeah, his character arc is just great. You know, a character who starts out one way and they're not really caring much, give or take some things. You know, obviously he's not heartless completely, but he's definitely stepped on a lot of toes, so to speak, throughout the story and stuff like that. But now he's ready to make amends.
All's well?
So what do you think?
It'll take some getting used to.
The second attack this month, I should have moved this village long ago.
I brought all this upon you years ago, but I will stand by you now.
It will take more than a few favors to call yourself a true assassin, Edward.
One thing at a time, mate.
Under attack once more. Come. To the beach!
What news?
Stay close, Edward. Follow my lead.
¡Presionad, muchachos!
Un momento. Lo ha oído. ¡Venceremos a esos gusanos! ¡Reculad! ¡Rodead a esa rata!
¡No podrás despistarnos!
Corey, it's funny when you have an outfit without a hood when he does the animation. It is. It's almost like he's had withdrawals from it that he even does it when he doesn't have a hood. It's just like, I need to put my hood on. It's like, Edward, you don't have a hood. Shh, I do. It's on now. Sheila, the rope dart feels unprecedented in AC games. In Black Flag, it gets introduced really late, and in 3 you only have to use it in the side quest to get rid of the hunters. That's true. Yeah, some playthroughs of this game I like to use the rope dart to do assassination contracts to kind of get a bit more gameplay with it, because I really do like the rope dart a lot as well. And I think it's a weapon that should be in more games, or should have been in more games. I mean, it's in the Chronicles games and variations of it, but it would have been cool to have the rope dart appear in other 3D games and bring in some of the things that you can do in the Chronicles games. Like, for example, having the rope dart be something you could actually do for traversal, like as a whip on some things, would have been really, really good. Crooked, you can't see the hood? Well, better train your eagle vision then. Exactly. That's it. The hood itself is invisible.
¡Es mío! ¡No escapará! ¡Detenedlo ya!
Good to see you here, brother. Swift and clean, Edward. Merciful kills are all they deserve.
Nice rope dart kill there, Adewale.
¡Lo veo directamente! ¡Mantened la posición y avanzad a mi señal! ¡No escapará! ¡No! ¡Lo tengo a tiro! ¡Objetivo a la vista! ¡Aprovechando que tengo justo en la mira! ¡No lo perdáis ahora!
¡Idiota! ¿Creías que no te veríamos?
That motherfucker. I was just about to friggin' use the rope dart on him. Whatever, game, fine.
Yanumuk awol yetel apishan. And once more you have our thanks, Edward. You are welcome here.
Thank you, sir. I'll rest here for a time before setting out, if I may. How's her child?
She is a strong woman, but not invincible.
Edward.
I'm sorry for your loss.
If I'd stayed in prison, they'd have taken him from me. He'd now be alive. Maybe this is God's way of saying I'm not fit to be a mother yet. Carrying on like I do. Cursing and drinking and fighting.
You are a fighter, aye. In prison, I heard stories of the infamous Anne Bonny and Mary Read taking on the King's Navy together.
Just the pair of you.
It's all true. Anne would have won that day if Jack and his lads weren't passed out in the hold from drink. Edward. Everyone's gone, aren't they? Mary, Rackham, Touch, all the rest. I miss them so. Rough as they were. Do you feel that too? All empty inside, like?
I do. Devil curse me. I do.
Oh yes, Annie, the music really does. While I like doing it, it is good to actually have music playing in cutscenes again in a playthrough that I'm doing. After the recent story-focused playthrough.
I know my targets by sight well enough, but how will I find them?
We have spies and informants in every city. Visit our bureaus and the assassins there will guide you.
That fixes Torres and Rogers. But Bartholomew Roberts won't be near any city. It might take months to find him.
Or years. But you're a man of talent and quality, Captain Kenway. I believe you will find him.
And if you're at a loss, do not be afraid to call on your quartermaster for aid.
Quartermaster! What's our present course?
Due west, Captain, if it's still Kingston we're sailing for.
It is indeed, Miss Bonny. Call it out.
Weigh anchor and let fall the courses, lads! We're sailing for Jamaica!
Hey, Ginger Perks, welcome on in. I'm doing really good, thank you. Things are going great. How's things with you? I hope you're having a good weekend. I'm just finishing off a playthrough that I started 7 months ago, where I had to wait a certain amount of time in real life to match how much time Edward was told to meet someone. Oh yeah, thank you. Thank you, yeah, that was really cool to have a turnout like that for Tomb Raider. Yeah, the Last Revelation game is really, really cool. And I hope when the remasters of Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3 come out in February, I hope that you know, people who might have seen the stream might be interested to play those and all that kind of stuff. But thank you so much for the lurking as well. Black Flag's going good. Yeah, it's going really, really good. This stream comes 4 months after the last one for this playthrough. But yeah, I finished off all the all the 10th anniversary playthroughs last year for the game, so that was good to do. And finishing this one off. And yeah, but no, Black Flag is going well. We're almost finished this playthrough, almost at the end of the story. Yeah, it really does. Like, Tomb Raider has such a big fan base, and it extends, of course, all the way to the newer ones. But there is a division in the fan base too. Like, there's people that are classic Lara camp versus reboot Lara camp, but I'm in the middle going, can't we just like all of them? Not that it's bad if you don't like everything in a franchise, but I'm sort of like, I like both. I like classic Lara and I like reboot Lara, you know.
How does it feel to bark so loud?
I've barked louder, and to men twice as rough.
Tending bar at the old Avery, you mean?
Among other places. And I sailed with Mary and Rackham for a time, remember?
Of course.
Mary did most of the captaining, Jack did most of the drinking.
Did Mary... Did she ever tell you who it was that fathered her child?
It was a young fella. Sailed with us on that last voyage. Poor lad was killed fighting beside us. The only man not too drunk to stand up for himself.
There was so much about her I didn't know. I called her a friend. But was I one in return?
She thought the world of you, Edward. I've no worries about that.
Well, That's good to hear.
Lucinda, okay, Rod, it's time for you to get your day started, although you'd like to go back to bed. I know that feeling, that's for sure. Hope you have a great rest of your stream. Thank you so much. I definitely will. I hope that you have a great start to your stream. You are doing Alan Wake today, to finish it off. But yeah, highly recommend checking out Lucinda's channel if you haven't before. Is finishing off today her first ever playthrough of the first Alan Wake. Is also a massive Resident Evil fan, and every year does a marathon of the series, doing different kinds of playthroughs with them. Also a fan of the Dishonored series, and also franchises like The Last of Us, as well as Evil Within, and also Dying Light. She's also doing a playthrough of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Coming up on the 8th is when she'll be doing that. That's her primary game. And then the secondary game has been Alan Wake. So from week to week, Lucinda alternates between primary and secondary games. So once she finishes Alan Wake, it'll be on to a different game for the secondary one, but still going with the Assassin's Creed series for the primary game. Lucinda, yep, finishing it up. Thank you for the shout out. Absolutely no worries, Lucinda, for the shout out. No problemo. Yeah, Chapter 6 is the shortest one overall. I won't sugarcoat it. There's going to be some annoying parts, but in terms of length, it is a shorter chapter as well. But yeah, on easy, hopefully it'll give you some advantages that on other difficulties you don't have. But I hope you have a great start to your stream, Lucinda. Hey, Percenta, welcome on in. How's things going? Yeah. But I've got to give you credit, Lucinda. You know, you're pushing through. I know how frustrating that game has been, you know, to get through, but it's almost over.
You've lost your senses.
You've lost your senses. Well, when near him, I think not having the sense of smell is a good thing.
What?
The rope darts. So in tomorrow's stream of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, doing the torch challenge, I still haven't decided if I'm going to do all three of the main story threads, which is the family quest line, the cult quest line, and also the mythological creatures, but I'll just play it by ear. I was going to start Red Dead Redemption 2 next weekend for my annual playthrough, but I really do want to get the Assassin's Creed Odyssey playthrough finished, and I also want to stick to having Monday to Friday next week be just one game. So the only game that I could sacrifice is Red Dead Redemption 2, but only until I get Assassin's Creed Odyssey finished. And once that is finished, then Red Dead Redemption 2 will be the weekend game as well. But yeah, I'm going to do Alan Wake 2 when I finish Control. So Alan Wake 2 will happen straight after Control's finished, so I don't want to hold off on doing that playthrough. Hey Anto, you don't mind if Edward just stands on your table and messes things up, and you know, I don't know if he tried in anything, but you know, Crooked the rope dart has two parts: the rope and the dart.
Captain Kenway.
You have something for me?
The present whereabouts of the Templar Woods Rogers. He is attending a small political function, so do it clean.
The word is King George is calling Rogers back to London.
Aye, not happy with his progress in Nassau.
Still too many pirates roaming about, from what I hear.
You'll need a disguise to fool the powderheads at this party. I suggest the visiting diplomat, Ruggiero Ferraro. He's been on our list for some time.
Understood. Will you send this to England for me?
Aye. The ship leaves tomorrow.
Caroline Scott Kenway, Hawkins Lane, Bristol.
Ruggiero. Ferrari, or whatever he's called.
Don't get me wrong, but she's a bit of a harridan.
This city has no aesthetic plan, no joy.
Are you my escorts or my captors? Va bene. I am ready. We go.
I'll find it for you. Haven't you boys anything better to do than pull the hair off each other's chests?
Hey there, Code. The true original snail mail. Yeah. Imagine having to wait weeks, maybe months for a response from someone that you wrote a letter to.
There is no beauty to this city. No expression of joy. No aesthetic plan. You walk your streets like animals. Like cattle with no sense of decorum.
Crooked Ben. Yeah, this is definitely a different Italian character for Roger Craig Smith to play. Harbinger, please don't murder Ezio. Aw.
You are all idiots. How you English believe you can subdue the world is beyond me.
But we need to, Harbinger. Good thing he's not actually Ezio. That'd be a massive continuity error.
Ah, praise God for imported wines.
Hey, that was bloody rude. Apologise.
Came down in the night with a score of warriors. Absconded with the slaves and set light to every corner before old Finn was even roused from bed.
Are you pickled with drink? Ease off, man. Are you pickled? Bastard! What on earth was that for? Are you... Bastard! What on... Are you pickled with drink? Ease off, man.
Are you pickled with drink?
Bastard! What on earth was that for? Again? I'll see you punished by the law, you devil.
Again! Yes, again and again.
Salve. Forgive the lateness of my arrival. I am Rogerio Ferraro.
Aye, Mr. Ferraro. Not a problem.
Imagine someone just doing that in real life. Walking through and just talking casually and then just circling around. Code, you think it was at least a month, one direction? Oh, yeah, well, that's a good point too. Like, yeah, like about a month of travel for your letters. Like, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, a toast to my brief tenure as Governor of the Bahamas. For under my watch, no less than 300 avowed pirates took the king's pardon and swore fealty to the crown. And yet, for all my successes, His Majesty has seen fit to sack me and call me home to England. Brilliant! God bless the fucker!
Unfortunately, they take your rope dart away, so you can't do a rope dart kill on him.
Prigs who rule the world with sticks up their arm.
Imagine being in a party and see that.
I say that's
Let
a
us
smart
continue
looking
this
outfit,
at another
but
time.
it can't be comfortable in this heat.
Am I dreaming?
I see.
And how is
Word
Mrs.
going
Rogers these
round
days?
is that you're
Forgive my...
Just the timing of the dialogue from the NPC to Rogers as he gets killed. How's your wife going at the moment? Alright,
Congrats, Captain
I'll do
Rogers.
this the normal
Any
way.
business left unfinished?
Or at least the way that I
Yes.
normally do it all the time.
that I paid for Nassau's restoration with my own money. Fully 3/4 of the improvements made to that bloody island, I funded by my private fortune. And if that doesn't spell out my commitment, then the king is a fool.
What we have here is a failure to communicate.
Well, exactly, because Edward's not saying
Mrs.
anything.
Rogers these days?
I haven't the faintest idea, and I don't intend to inquire any further. We separated almost 5 years ago, and both our lives have been the better for it.
Forgive my curiosity, Governor.
Perhaps I'll be more candid later, when the remainder of my reason has left me.
What do you want? What do you want?
What?
It ends now.
What? What the fuck? Oi. How did Woodes Rogers know that Edward was doing that around the corner? What the hell? Okay, fine, game. I just thought I'd do that to, you know, do something while that was happening. But Santa, you do miss the insta-kills from the earlier AC games, even during combat. In Odyssey, you can be fighting basic grunts for 30 seconds sometimes. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, and the thing about Odyssey as well is, I mean, depending on what stats you use and all that kind of stuff, you can get to a point where you can do, like, one-hit assassinations and stuff. But you really need to, you know, pay attention to that and actually invest time and patience into doing that as well. This is like assassinating Duccio and Revelations over and over again. I love doing that. It's so funny how he just keeps on being respawned back into the game world every time you kill him as well. Maybe he is an immortal.
Perhaps I'll be more candid later, when the remainder of my reason has left me.
It would have been a funny joke if they had someone in Duccio, in present day, called Duccio, and they were asked who they were named after, and they're like, oh yeah, all the men in our family are called Duccio, going way back to the Renaissance.
Please, God, let me make it back down.
He was a privateer once. How is it you lack so much respect for sailors only trying to make their way in this world?
You couldn't possibly understand my motives, cretin! You have spent a whole lifetime dismantling everything that makes our civilization shine.
But I do understand. I've seen the observatory, and I know its power. You'd use that device to spy and blackmail and sabotage.
Yes. And yet all for a greater purpose. To ensure justice. To snuff out lies and to seek truth.
There's no man on Earth who needs that power.
Yet you suffer the outlaw Roberts to use it.
No. I'm taking it back. And if you tell me where he is, I'll stop the man.
Here at the edge of a blade, I find a friend in you at last. Principe, you mad bastard. Our best sources say Principe.
I must find Egress. Which way? Down. Get out.
This music here also plays in Unity. At the start of the game, when Arno's being brought into the Bastille, and you have Marquis going, "Help! They're killing the prisoners in here!" And then the guy's like, "Be quiet, you degenerate," or something like that. And speaking of Assassin's Creed Unity, this year, it celebrates its 10th anniversary, so we're doing playthroughs for that as well.
You, stop!
That man there! The Italian! He did it!
Now. Code, you checked, in 1600s it took 60 to 90 days, 1700s it took 6 weeks, and 1800s about a month. Yeah, I mean, out of all those, I'd rather wait for a month. You know what I mean? Instead of it having to be, you know, longer than that. Ironically, there's people, you know, who can't even answer emails after weeks.
It's done.
Where now?
Grab your kit and pack well. We're sailing for Africa.
He's promised to stay.
Really? You'll not escape me! He's in my sight. Got him sighted.
If you really want it rough, we can happily oblige. Easy, you bloody orders.
This is the lawless land of he takes what he can.
I love those drunken NPCs. Oh, hang on. Let's go here. Code snail mail plus Alzheimer's gives a new meaning for patience. Yeah. Take a lot of patience.
Give me some... Down west, old ship that ever did sail, rolled out one morning. Oh, to me, Johnny.
Come on, we want Drunken Sailor.
Where am I to go? Brown, she's the gal for me. Look ahead, look astern, look
Nope. Drunken Soldier. Sailor. Drunken Soldier. Shoulder. I don't know what I'm saying.
Farewell and adieu.
This is a great song as well, but I want Drunken Sailor. Here we go.
She rises, way up, she rises, way up, she rises, early in the morning. What will we do with the drunken sailor? What will we do with the drunken sailor? What will we do with the drunken sailor? Early in the morning. Way up she rises, way up she rises, way up she rises, early in the morning. Put him in the scuppers with the hose pipe on him, put him in the scuppers with the hose pipe on him. Put him in the scuppers with the hose pipe on him. Early in the morning. Way up she rises. Way up she rises. Way up she rises. Early in the morning. Put him in the brig until he's sober. Put him in the brig until he's sober. Put him in the brig until he's sober. Early in the morning. Way up she rises. Way up she rises. Way up she rises. Early in the morning.
Code, what will we do with the drunken sailor? Drop it from the plank and haul under the keel. Now that would not be a pleasant way to go. That is for damn sure. Like, imagine if the Animus was a real thing in real life and the only memory you could relive was of someone's death, and it was by that. That'd be really fucking freaky.
Douse all but...
Captain! Here's one still kicking!
Who did this?
It were a large vessel, the Royal Fortune.
Roberts.
Offered no quarter, didn't say nothing.
Oh yeah, Code. Shark bait. Not worried about optional objectives, so we're just going to run through.
Stay yourself. Met my hanger. Stop. He'll not make the offing.
Why, who chases me now, eh? Is it a spectre come to spook me? Ah, or the gaunt remains of a man I sent to hell?
Jump off the friggin' thing. That'll do. Or become anonymous to interact. Come off it.
The way is blocked, Captain. We'll have to find another path.
Cruise up! Eat her sticks! Let out some sail!
Steer clear of that, Captain.
Reef the topsails and gallants!
Code, with your luck, the main character would have found the tiniest rock and died to it while landing. That's what I was worried about too. Like when Edward fell, I was like, oh great, we're gonna desynchronize here. But yeah, it wouldn't let me make him jump off for some reason.
Taking a hit, Captain! Ready to fire! Fire! Ready to fire, sir! Fire!
fucking inferno! All in the sun! Loves a man there, she's Scorrel! Fire!
Look! Mortars, Captain!
Fire! Fire! Reloading! Fire! Fire! Ready to spit, sir! Fire! Fire! Yeah! Fire! Fire! We're ready, sir! Yeah! Fire! Ready to fire, sir! Fire!
Edward! There's cross trees on the horizon!
Flying British colours!
There's Spanish ships there, Captain! This'll be a mess if we don't hurry!
Fire!
Shall we sink his ship, Captain? We've a better than even chance.
No. There's a device with him that needs taking. I'll have to board her myself.
It's such a shame that in Skull and Bones you won't be able to do shipboarding the way that you do it in this game. Essentially, when the enemy ship in Skull and Bones has no health left, you just press the button to board, short cutscene done, back to gameplay. It's like, aw. No swinging across, no cannon fire, no clashing of swords and shooting of pistols and muskets.
By Jove, Edward Kenway, how can I not be impressed by the attention you paid me? May the best of we two sing praises of the second!
A merry life and a short one, as promised. How well I know myself. And what of you, Edward? Have you found the peace you seek?
I'm not aiming so high as that. For what's peace but a confusion between two wars?
Oh, you're a stoic then. But perhaps I was wrong about you. She might have had some use for you after all.
She? Of whom do you speak?
Oh, she who lies in wait, entombed. I had hoped to find her, to see her again, to open the door of the temple and hear her speak my name once more.
Talk sense, man.
Oh, I was born too soon. Like so many others before.
Where's the device, Robert?
Destroy this body, Edward. The Templars. If they take me...
Alright, so there's the second last memory of Sequence 12. And then after the final memory, this will be the unique playthrough finished.
Alto ahí!
And then tomorrow's stream, my Sunday stream, will be Assassin's Creed Odyssey, doing my Torch Challenge. And until that playthrough gets done, every weekend will be Odyssey. And then after that is finished, every weekend will be Red Dead Redemption 2. But not just for one playthrough, the whole year. It'll be every weekend.
Captain Kenway. I'm assuming this is the friendliest face you've seen since dropping anchor?
Is Havana under curfew on my account?
Aye. Torres seems to think someone's coming after him.
He's not wrong.
A monkey-looking thing? Is that what I think it is?
Aye. Watch. Through the blood of the governor, we can see through his eyes.
That's by the church.
Keep this safe. Just in case.
I'll be at the bureau. Good luck.
In an alternate universe, maybe Edward and Rona got together and had children. Sheila, Red Dead 2 will be so awesome. I'm very much looking forward to it. For my annual playthrough, I'm going to be doing something that isn't unique to the game itself, as in no one else has done it before or anything, like this playthrough was for Black Flag, but I want to take an approach to the game that I've never done myself before. So I'm looking forward to that. But I want to not say what that is yet until we get to that point, but yeah. And then there's another playthrough of Red Dead 2 that I had to put on hold last year that I'll be resuming. And so, after the annual playthrough's done of Red Dead 2 and the annual playthrough of Red Dead 1, because I do them back to back in that order, then after that for the rest of the year it'll be this other playthrough I put on hold with Red Dead 2.
Tenemos un asunto pendiente con el tiburón en el castillo. El señor Torres querrá hablar con nosotros personalmente.
¿El propio Torres? Menudo honor.
No te alteres, amigo. Esto no es una reunión de sociedad. Seguidnos.
Señor, disculpe, pero ¿por qué tenemos que entrar ahí? Ya han enviado a la mayoría de la flota.
¿Estás cuestionando una orden directa, soldado?
No, señor, pero es que...
Bien.
¡Atención!
La ciudad entera en alerta por esos asesinos.
Calla. Un rumor acaba con la confianza más rápido que una bala. Ni menciones a los asesinos.
He oído historias sobre ellos. Espero que te equivoques.
Ahí, vosotros dos. Cerrad esas bocas antes de que os las tenga que cerrar yo.
Señor, sí, señor.
Creo que ha sido Thesis.
Yeah, right. You can shoot us like you did the rest of our crew. Hit off!
Dios, ahora qué.
Marcus! Oh, Jesus! You bleeding animal!
Eso, señor. Esos prisioneros. Cállate. Bien, continuemos. Vosotros, seguidnos. Y esta vez no vayáis a meter la pata.
Haz lo que dice, no te muevas. Al cuerno, yo me vuelvo. ¡Abrid paso!
¡Detenedlo! ¡Un momento! Esto acabará pronto. ¡Lo tengo encañonado!
¡En el punto de mira! ¡Objetivo a la vista!
¡A vuestras posiciones!
Crooked, hope you have a great rest of the stream, Cindy. You're going to rock out with your Altair Ezio Nico Bellic wrench band. Nice one, dude. That's awesome. I'm glad that you've got that all sorted so you can do that playthrough of Guitar Hero World Tour. Excellent, dude. So how many, roughly, how many characters have you modded into the game for your playthrough? Would like to highly recommend people check out Crocodile's channel if you haven't before. He's a big fan of Assassin's Creed. He's doing a series of playthroughs of all the main games in the series where he plays without the HUD. So just to show you an example, I've got all the HUD elements on, but if you go into the options, this is for those people who don't necessarily know what no HUD means. So for Black Flag, for example, which is the game that Crocodiles is currently playing in the series, he has all of these turned off: the breath meter, the crew meter, the social stealth indicator, the health meter, the mini-map, the puppeteering prompts, the tutorial messages, the updates, the weapon indicator, the character icon. In naval, no sails and no wanted meter. So he has to keep an eye on the sails and determine whether or not the ship is about to get on low health based on what the sails look like. So all those indicators are actually turned off, and if you have a look at my game screen with all those off, it still tells you what you need to do, but everything else is taken off the screen. And so you have to determine whether or not the enemies fully know that you're there or anything like that. So yeah, he's doing that with all the games in the series, including the RPG ones as well. But not only that, he's also doing the games without fast traveling. There's some games in the series that will force you to fast travel, so that doesn't count. But every single other opportunity where fast travel is used as an optional thing, up to the player to decide, Crocodiles is actually not able to fast travel as well. And not only that, he also has limited looks at the map that he can do as well. And he's also doing a playthrough of Guitar Hero World Tour, and pardon me, he's got about 70 characters that have been modded into the game. And Crooked, you modded about 70 characters into the game, and that's not counting the ones that come by default with the mod. Oh, cool. You mean like 90% of the time at Schiller? Yeah, especially on the missions where you're like, okay, so you need to take the jackdaw somewhere on the open ocean. We're not going to tell you or indicate where it is. You have to figure it out on your own kind of thing. So yeah, highly recommend checking out Crocodile's channel if you haven't before. And absolutely no worries for the shout out, Senny. No worries at all. I hope you have a great start to your stream. Percenter, HUD is heads up display. Exactly. Percenter, yeah, heads up display. The no HUD mode, aka the podcast mode, is a bit rough. The podcast mode, yeah. But yeah, it definitely makes you, because I've done a few games in the series without the HUD, and it really makes you pay attention to the game world more. Percenter, sometimes when playing games on their hardest mode, the HUD is automatically disabled. Yeah, I've come across some games that do that too, as well. But yeah, not playing without the HUD definitely gives you a bit of a different, way to play it. And that's right, Schiller, yeah. But it's, I don't know, like sometimes it can be easy, but other times you have to scratch your head and determine where you are based on what buildings are around you. And if the buildings are all pretty much the same, then you have to look for something else to use as a way to figure out. Okay, so we're going to kill not Laureano Torres, because Laureano Torres is not even anywhere near where Edward is. So we kill an imposter. And we have to face El Tiburon, which in the original version of the story, you actually fought him earlier in the game, but it was one of those situations where it was like the player has to fail, you can't win. And so there's some dialogue that Edward has with El Tiburon in the final game that alludes to that cut aspect. Some people thought that it might have just simply been when El Tiburon bested him when they found out that he wasn't actually Duncan. But there was actually supposed to be a gameplay fight that you had with him originally that you would lose, that you had to fail to progress the story. And it's that which Edward is actually referring back to, but they still kept the dialogue in that cutscene the same, even though they took that part of the gameplay out there. Arcano Drano, thank you so much for the follow. That guard was a bit silly.
You're done, Torres. Christ. This again, eh?
¡Detenedlo!
You're a canny one up close.
¡Puedo disparar!
No man's immune to a pistol shot, I reckon.
¡Todos a la vez!
Can't score a hit like this.
Apparently you can kill him by using the lift. So I wanted to test that out, but wasn't able to pull it off.
Are you weak against bullets?
And that was the only lift that there was. Let's see if I can get it to work.
You're too skilled for swordplay. How about a little gunplay?
Damn it. Okay, maybe a glitch if he gets tangled with it and gets sent to the moon travel trajectory. Oh, that would be so funny if that actually did happen. I'll try it a few more times, but if I can't get it to actually work, I'll just shoot him.
You're a canny one up close. Are you weak against bullets?
The bastard moved away from it.
You're too skilled for swordplay. No man's immune to a pistol shot, I reckon.
Es mío, no escapará.
Yes!
If you could speak, mate, it would gladden me to hear your side. You humbled me once, and I took that hard lesson, and I bettered myself. Die, knowing that for all of our conflict, you helped make a soldier out of a scoundrel. Leave this life for a lasting peace, down among the dead.
¡Directamente! ¡Se está yendo! ¡Tú! ¡Para!
Shilla, you didn't know that you could kill him that way, loading up Black Flag to play this mission. I did not either, Shilla, until Crocodiles actually told me that someone had killed Il Tiburon using the lift. And so I'm glad I actually got it to work, because I wasn't sure after the first two attempts whether it was gonna let it happen. But yeah, it's all about positioning and timing too, because if he hits you, then that can mess things up. Hey there, Spectrum. Welcome on in. Oh, and thank you. Yeah, I wanted to make the logo be kind of like, in one way, a badge, in another way, a shield, in another way, a helmet with like a beak. You know, just something that could have multiple sort of like visual, you know, references or something. And so I came up with something like that, and you know, it's just basic, but I'm one of those people that I prefer simplicity than overly complex and overly designed stuff.
We got word Torres left the city. Who were you chasing?
That vial was labeled Torres, but held the blood of his second. Where's he gone?
Left port this morning, heading west along the coast.
The observatory.
Will we follow?
Send word to Atabai. We've cornered our man.
The only other way, Schiller, that I've found to kill him, it's very difficult to do, but if you lure him up to the top of the fort, there is a way to make him fall to his death, but it definitely can be annoying to try and do it like that. And how's things going for you today, Spectrum?
Clues down! Catch some wind!
What's this Torres doing looking for the observatory? When you're holding the treasure yourself?
Torres doesn't know I have it.
So why bring it to him and risk its capture?
I'd like him to know I have it, just before he dies.
Whiskey is the life of man. Whiskey, Johnny. Oh, whiskey is the life of man. Whiskey for
Ghost the Royals
Johnny.
at Tom!
I drink whiskey when I can. Whiskey, Johnny.
Edward, there's a fleet blocking the cove we want.
Aye, the Armada. That's Torres and his men.
And you're going to do what, exactly?
Find our way past them.
Whiskey made me pawn my toes. Whiskey for my Johnny, oh. Whiskey drove me around Cape Horn. Whiskey, Johnny, it was many a month when I was gone. Whiskey for my Johnny, oh. I thought I heard the old man say, whiskey, Johnny.
Briefing, all tops!
Through in a decent way.
Clue all tops! Douse the main!
Loose and catch the wind!
Spectrum, you're just waking up and you're well. You're excited about the new kit you got yesterday. It's to make a bowed psaltery, an instrument similar in sound to a violin, but should be easy to play with your arthritis. How are you and everyone else doing? Well, I'm glad to hear that you're doing well. Spectrum, that's good. I hope you had a great sleep. And never actually heard of that before. Have you actually like put one of those together before, or what? But yeah, that's cool that you've got something like that to work on, and especially something that can be very helpful physically as well. That definitely is a big plus. As for me, I'm doing well, Spectrum. I had a good Saturday. It's now Sunday here, about 1 a.m. in the morning, but I've been having a good weekend. And this playthrough, the unique one that I started about 7 months ago, is on its final stream now, so we'll be finishing this today. Spectrum, no, but you put other instrument kits together. Oh, that's good though, you got experience putting the kits together then.
Taking a buffet, Captain!
Got us that time!
Fire!
Hit us, Unfold me! Nothing to enterrado!
Spectrum, you're about to get 7 inches of snow starting in a minute now. They just changed that up to 5, did they? Well, that still sounds like a decent amount of snow. But hopefully it's not going to be, you know, destructive.
Shorten sail! Get off the squall! Round it all on! Douse the gallants and royals! Haul them in! Get off the wind! Loose and trim too!
We can't take on our guns!
Fire! On your mark, Cabell! Fire! Quick as we can, sir! Fire! Ready to fire, sir! Douse the royals and tops!
Look, the whole place shut down!
Sail! Get off the squall! Fire!
Stay out of range, Captain!
Fire!
Ready to box, sir!
Get the mains free! Fire! Almost ready! Fire! Ease off the wind!
There, sir! Good shock and crippler!
Fire!
Ready to
Fire!
fist vulnerable there, Captain! Working on it!
Fire!
There, sir! Good shock and crippler!
Fire! Down to the string! Get up to planks! Let out some sail! Cruise up! Ease her sticks! Every last scrap of duck on the wind! Reef the...
Who's this Taurus? And what's your man done to earn a death sentence?
He's a Templar, like Rogers and Hornigold. Man cooking up schemes to use the observatory for ill purposes. For power and control. The violence he'd cause with this thing would be subtle but heavy. Deadly, yet leaving no mark. Does that make sense?
Like, if there was a drought and people was thirsty, and one man had a large cask of water but gave a sip to none, he'd be a killer with no blood in his hands.
Aye, like that.
Fair enough.
Hands to sea!
Lord, there's a bit of a chill, isn't there? Thought we might see some soldiers and the like. Maybe they've gone?
No, they're here. Deep in the jungle.
Spectrum, the Psaltery was mentioned in the Bible, but it was a trapezoid shape and plucked. A few hundred years ago, someone changed the shape to a triangle and added the bows, up to 2 at the same time. I'm always curious about what was the first version of things, you know, and what led to them changing things and all that kind of stuff. Because it's interesting when you think about things that we just take as is nowadays that had an evolution that took years and centuries to get to, you know. and all that kind of stuff. It's the same with like the origin of words and sayings. I like to find out when words first started being used for certain contexts, and then, you know, how they change over time and stuff.
Soldiers, just there. What should we do? Jesus, look at all this. Corpses for miles.
They brought every ounce of menace they had.
What is it?
Later, Anne. I'll tell you all when this is finished.
Holy Mother of Gods. Is this the place we've come to see?
Aye. Stand watch here, and let none follow.
Fit for another dozen fights, aye.
¡Mis piernas! ¡No, mis piernas! ¡Venga, muévete! ¡No puedo! ¡Mis piernas no responden!
¡Déjalo! ¡Déjalo! ¡Moriremos todos!
¿Has oído? ¡Levántate! ¡No quiero dejarte aquí!
¡Será vuestro funeral!
¡Por favor! ¡Está aquí! ¡El pirata está aquí! ¡Perdóname, por favor!
Spectrum, the violin hurts your neck and wrist, but the bowed soldiery can be held in the lap by one arm or mounted on a tripod for double bowing. That's really good that it's got those configurations that you can put it into as well. And it's great when they do that. You know, they keep in mind people who do have those issues as well, and still allow them to actually enjoy playing instruments.
Hemos activado algo.
¡No tengo el cañonazo! ¡Está aquí, matando!
We could have worked together, Edward. We could have taken power for ourselves and brought these miserable empires to their knees. There is so much potential in you. So much you have not yet accomplished. I could show you things. Mysteries beyond anything that you could imagine.
Captain Kenway, ever a splinter in my side. Does this murder fulfill you?
I'm only seeing a job done, Torres. As you'd have done with me.
As we have done, I think. You have no family anymore, no friends, no future. Your losses are far greater than ours.
That may be. But killing you rights a far greater wrong than ever I did.
You honestly believe that?
You would see all of mankind corralled into a neatly furnished prison, safe and sober, yet dulled beyond reason and sapped of all spirit. So with everything I've seen and learned in these last years, I do believe it.
You wear your convictions well. They suit you.
Thanks for the GGs, Schiller. Muchly appreciated, dude.
Torres awakened something fierce. Are we safe?
With the device returned, I believe so.
What do you call this place?
Captain Kenway's Folly!
Etzawolte su tukila. Ka wenen. We will seal this place and discard the key. Until another sage appears, this door will remain locked.
There were vials when I came here last. Filled with the blood of ancient men, Robert said, but they're gone now.
Then it's up to us to recover them, before the Templars catch wind of this. You could join us in that cause.
I will, but only after I fix what I mangled back home.
It arrived last week.
I always wish that Edward was able to go back to England with Caroline still alive and be able to show her how much he had actually changed. But alas, she dies from the sickness that she had, and she was pregnant, but didn't tell Edward that she was pregnant before he left, and so had a daughter, and now Edward is finding out about all that and the fact that she's died.
Wakey, wakey. I don't believe we've been formally introduced. Not in this era, anyway. I wish I could explain all this strangeness, but there isn't much time. The short of it is, you saw my beloved Juno. And for a brief moment, I thought she might occupy this tender body of yours. But something went wrong. And now, she's back out there, adrift. Oh, she was magnificent once. One of a race of beautiful, wonderful creatures. They created your kind. Did you know that? Your people were tools to them. That's all you have ever been. That's all you should ever be. One day soon, I hope. For the world is nearly ready for her return. Wired. Prepared for a second coming. Uh-oh. Here they come. Those Templars. Or maybe assassins this time. Idiots. All of them. I envy you. It was her wish that I be here to greet her. It was her experiment that made it possible for my rebirth as one of these things. Ah!
Stay down! Get down on your back! Now! He's got a gun!
Guide me into the grave, beloved! I am your instrument!
Put the gun down! Drop it! Drop your weapon! Clear! Clear! Check his vitals. He's bleeding fast. Check the victim.
Are you okay? Can you hear me? Hello? Talk to me. You all right?
Well, there you are. Thank God. I hope you feel well. You look good. Can you stand? Good. Try walking around. A doctor came by, said there wasn't anything to worry about. That the liquid in the syringe was far, far below a lethal dose. I feel terrible about all this. About everything. All our evidence pointed to you, but it was John all along. God, the things we found on his computer. Whatever you need, we'll provide. You've done an amazing job. Speaking of which, our trailer is finished. Would you like to see it? I owe you that much.
In a world.
There we go. I uploaded it to your database. You can watch it here or at your Animus. I think you'll love it. It really captures the essence of the era. So, take care. And again, thank you.
Hola, ladies.
World where pirates rule the waves. These men will discover that nothing is sacred and everyone is committed to rum, plunder, and women.
Hola, ladies.
This summer, Abstergo Entertainment invites you aboard for the adventure of a lifetime. So sharpen your cutlasses, shine your hooks, and sail with the Devils of the Caribbean. This virtual experience is not being rated.
Sheila, still a better trailer than the Skull and Bones trailer. Exactly. Yeah. And I definitely would recommend that when people when Skull and Bones comes out, just play Black Flag instead. You'll probably get a more robust or a more kind of like encompassing pirate experience, because you can actually, you know, raid ships and participate by controlling the character as they, you know, shoot at the enemy ship when it's taken over, and then actually swing across on ropes and get your sword out and, you know, swashbuckle and pull your pistols out and shoot enemies and, you know, have all that gameplay. Because in Skull and Bones, you ain't getting that, that's for sure. Pretty much just shoot the ship, shoot the ship, shoot the ship. Ship has no health left. Press this button. Button press. Quick cutscene. Here's your loot. Back to gameplay. That's it. Every time. But Skull and Bones doesn't look like something you'll be playing. Yeah, me neither. You know, like if you're looking for purely a ship combat game set in like that time period, then you'll probably get a lot out of it. But if you're hoping for an open world exploration game where you can not only go and explore the seas, but actually go onto islands, find side quests, go off on adventures, you know, all that kind of stuff, you're not going to get that with Skull and Bones. And as far as I am aware, Ubisoft has not communicated this in any of their trailers, that you're getting 95% ship combat game and 5% walk on land, roam around, talk to people, and, you know, upgrade your ship and all that kind of stuff. Sherlock, you're honest, you're tempted to get it, but you have a look first on some streams how it really is. But this is still my hype from the first announcement soon after Black Flag. Yeah, I definitely won't be playing it. Yeah, I don't know. From what I've seen, because they did, some people got access to it and they streamed it. From what I've seen, it's, you know, not that much to write home about. So I don't know. Ubisoft might be lucky, and it still might be enough of a financial success that they can, you know, recoup the costs. But we're talking 10 years worth of costs that they've had to put into the game. All the people they hired for all the work they had done since the inception of the concept right up until the final version of the game that we're going to get. You know, all those people have had to be paid. And so that's a lot of money to actually pay to people. Because you're not just paying the talent who are actually the characters and actors and all that kind of stuff. You're paying, you know, the designers, you're paying the concept artists, like you're paying everyone. You know, so they really need to do big money. They need to do really big money upon release to actually get a big financial success, I would imagine. Spectrum, what even is swashbuckling? Pretty much just the clashing of swords. I don't know when the term was coined, but it's kind of like something used to describe the old pirate movies and the kind of fighting that you would see with swordplay and stuff. But maybe because swash is actually used, maybe it's something that is strictly talking about combat, hand-to-hand, sword-based combat on pirate ships and on ships in general, and something maybe. Surely you believe it will just be released to get it done and then they move on really fast. Exactly. Yeah. And then they'll spew out 50 Assassin's Creed games every 6 months. No, not that many, but they will be releasing a lot of Assassin's Creed content, I imagine.
And, well, what now? Talk, you idiot! Look at the light! Isn't that the battery? I think that's the battery. Hello? Hello? Look, sorry about this. My name is Sean, and back there is Rebecca, my partner in crime.
Hello.
Bloody good work earlier. Honestly, I mean it. Delivering us all that data. It's really just too bad that our man on the inside was such a, how to put it? Fanatic. Fanatic is the best word, I suppose.
We take who we can get.
Exactly. Well put. we saw in John an opportunity to burrow deeper into Abstergo's cloud servers, and I'm not ashamed to say we took it. Not realizing, of course, that he was enlisting you to help him. And to blame, should anything go wrong. I suppose it all worked out very nicely in the end. Most of it, anyway.
What Sean really wants to say is, if you're up for more hacking, we are too. John gave you level 3 security clearance before he died. You should use it. The Assassins don't have the resources to pay you like the Templars do, but we'll make it worth your while.
Look, we should really cut it short, Bex. 20 seconds.
All right. Good luck.
Cheers, mate. And top-notch work. Really top. Give yourself a pat on the back. And happy hacking.
Sheila, you more hyped for the new Prince of Persia? I still don't know whether or not it's a Prince of Persia game that is for me, but what I do like about that game is that for people who need accessibility options, I saw a video of that game where people who might have problems with like memory, especially in games where there's intricate labyrinths, there's giant maps that you uncover, because it's a Metroidvania style game. But they've got this feature where you can actually leave something in the area that you actually get to, and it acts as a marker on the map itself. So when you actually hover over the icon on that part of the map, it actually gives you a screenshot of the area that you left that marker in. So you also have like an actual image that you can refer to, because you might have spent hours and hours going in other paths and forget how and forget where to go to get to somewhere. So I think having stuff like that is really cool. But all these options for people who have vision issues and all that kind of stuff, especially with different colors and things, they really seem to be pulling out all the stops with that kind of stuff as well. But yeah, I still am not really sold on the story or concept of that new Prince of Persia game. Like, rescuing the prince, I wouldn't have minded that if that was like, the opening of the story, you know what I mean? Like, you play as a character who has to rescue the prince, and once you rescue the prince, that character, then might become a companion that you can call upon to help you at certain points in the game, you know what I mean? Or you could go it alone yourself if you want. But yeah, I just don't know about playing as characters who aren't the prince. Having said that, though, in the first Prince of Persia game, the original one, the character that you play as does not become the Prince of Persia until you finish the game. In the 2008 reboot, the character you play as never becomes a prince at all. So it's not the first time they've got a game where you're not playing as a prince. But I really would prefer to play as a character who either is a prince from the start of the game to the finish, or at least becomes one at some point, But going back to 2.5D, not that the original is 2.5D, but going back to that style is a good move. But yeah, I just don't know. I'm sure it'll be successful. So I think Ubisoft will be successful. But having said that, though, I wouldn't be surprised if they do what Konami did with Castlevania, where when Symphony of the Night was a huge success, while they did do 3D Castlevania games, the majority of the Castlevania games were clones of Symphony of the Night. So I hope that if the new Prince of Persia game is successful, it doesn't mean that future Prince of Persia games will all be in that style. You know what I mean? Have to wait and see.
Gentlemen, how do you find it here?
It will work for us. But our goal must be to scatter our operations. To live and work among the people we protect, just as Altair ibn La'ahad once counseled.
Well, until that time, it's yours as you see fit.
Edward, Captain Woods Rogers survived his wounds. He has since returned to England, shamed and in great debt, but no less a threat.
I will finish that job when I return. You have my word.
What's he get for me, I says? Ah, bloody tossboss, have it coming.
Evening, Anne.
Edward?
I'll be sailing for London in the next few months. I'd be a hopeful man if you were beside me.
England's the wrong way around the globe for an Irishwoman.
Will you stay with the assassins?
No, I haven't got that kind of conviction in my heart. You?
In time, aye. When my mind is settled and my blood is cooled.
Sail ho! Coming into the cove!
You're a good man, Edward. And if you learn to keep settled in one place for more than a week, you'll make a fine father too. Of all the money that e'er I had, I spent it in good company, and all the harm that e'er I've done, alas, it was to none but me. And all I've done for want of a wit to memory now I can't recall. So felt me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all. Oh, all the moments ere I had, they're sorry for my going, and all the sweetness that ere I've loved, they'd wish me one more day to stay. But since it falls unto my lot that I should rise and you should, I'll gently rise and softly call. Good night and joy be with you all. Good night and joy be with you all.
Father, did you always know how to sail a boat?
The Jackdaw is a ship, Jenny, not a boat.
But did you always know?
No. No, I learned after leaving Bristol.
After you left Mother?
Well, I didn't leave without saying goodbye, that is. It was an arrangement, you see, between your mother and me.
She said you left her. She said you always talked about sailing a boat and making money in the New World.
I did always want to sail a ship. That's true. But not for a lark. To support us. To take care of her. And you.
Not me. Mother said you didn't know about me. She said you worked only once a year and that she never knew where to find you.
That's all true, and I'm sorry for that. If I'd known earlier... I don't know. I might have come home. I hope that I would have.
Well, you were busy. That's what I think.
I was, but... that wouldn't have mattered.
Can I steal your boat?
Boat? I see no boat here. Do you?
Oh, I mean ship, obviously. I don't see the difference anyway.
Ah, it's a very simple one, Jenny. A ship can carry a boat, but a boat cannot carry a ship.
Why then, everything is a ship. Large and small. But for my toy boat, the one I take into the bath with me.
That's a clever way of seeing it. Is it hard to talk about Caroline, Jenny? About your mother?
No. She passed some years ago. I miss her, but it's all right.
Was she in pain?
I don't know. I don't think so. She was very happy for quite some time. Then, not so happy. I didn't see her much after that. Then, she was gone.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I wasn't there for you.
It's all right. You're here now. And we're on an adventure.
Only a little one, I hope. I can't handle too many more surprises.
Do you think we'll see a whale?
Yes, there's a very good chance.
And what about pirates? Will I see pirates?
No. Not much chance of that, I think.
Oh, that's rather sad. I should have liked to have seen one.
Tell you what, Jenny. As soon as these winds die a little, I'll let you steer the Jackdaw. One little trick at the helm before sundown.
Yay!
Miss Jennifer Kenway, may I introduce myself?
Jennifer Scott, if you please.
I'm sorry,
My daughter was raised by her mother, Caroline, until she passed away some years ago. Jenny prefers to use her surname to mine.
Please forgive my ignorance.
I will. She may not.
Father, help me.
This little rascal, however, is a Kenway. What's wrong, Haytham?
I can't see the stage.
Up we go. How's that?
Fine. But won't your arms tire?
Hey, I'm not so old as that. But if they do, then we shall quit this posh gig and go and meet your mother for some chocolate at White's. How's that sound?
Yes, please.
Okay, hush now.
The Kenways, before the fucking Templar assholes interfered with their lives. Hey, Rosie. Never have, no. I don't think I would want to either. That definitely does not sound good. To have to bike somewhere in minus 20 degrees Celsius. Have you had to do that? If so, I can't imagine having to do that. Gilla, if Edward knew what Reginald Bitch would do to him and his family, he would have killed him on the spot. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's quite underestimated. Maybe that's not the right word. But I think it's a bit overlooked when people talk about the Kenway family. They sort of like try to make it that because Haytham later in life might be telling truths about how humans are and humanity and all that kind of stuff. He's not someone that became a Templar because he was, you know, brought up to be one or anything like that. He was essentially manipulated into becoming a Templar and so brainwashed that regardless of any positive things that the Templars might do, it doesn't take away from the fact that Haytham was manipulated by the Templars when he was 10 years old. And I think in that cutscene that we just saw, he is about 10 years old. And so when his father gets killed in front of him, and he kills one of the Templars who kill his father, his mother is present as well, and she becomes a bit frightened of Haytham. And eventually, Caroline, who Reginald Birch had feelings for, eventually he basically sends her away to become a slave, right? Because she won't reciprocate the advances that he does, or his feelings towards her, or anything like that. So as punishment to her for refusing him, he basically has her sent away to become a slave. However, he tells Haytham that his sister is missing. And so he tells this to Haytham, and Haytham for most of his life believes that his sister is missing. But his sister was actually under the orders of Reginald Bitch, made to be a slave. Now when Haytham finds out that she's still alive and that Reginald Bitch had been lying to him, he and Jennifer actually killed Reginald Bitch. However, because Haytham was brainwashed by the Templars, he was like, hey, I'm still going to be a Templar though. And some people seem to use that as a good reason for why Haytham is supposed to be in the right, as opposed to the assassins and all that kind of stuff. But he's someone who's brainwashed. You know, if someone gets brought up in a family or a community where they've been brainwashed, then there is a certain point where you have to say to yourself, the person who was brainwashed eventually has to take responsibility for their own actions. So while Haytham, when he was 10 years old, being manipulated to become a Templar is a terrible thing, and it's not his fault, there came a certain point though in his life later where it was his choice to remain a Templar, even knowing, right, their tactics and all that kind of stuff, because that's what they do. The Templars don't recruit through giving you an option. If you have something of value that they want, if they are rejected by you, they will do whatever is necessary to force you to join them. And so they'll do whatever they can. They'll kill your family, but what they'll do is they'll make it look like some random criminal just came into the place to kill your family member, and that we tried to stop them from killing your wife, but we just couldn't. But what we can do is we can make sure that you have all the money that you need to go forward in life, and that your business won't suffer. And then the person feels indebted, and so the Templars are like, right, we want you to do this for us. And if the person is like, but I don't want to, they're like, well, just remember, we have the power to help you in your life, or we have the power to take that away from you, you know. So the Templars, they get people in by manipulating them and brainwashing them. And so that's what happened with Haytham as well. So Haytham got brainwashed to become a Templar. And I've made this analogy before, but just because you might be right about something, just because there's some things that you do that are good, even serial killers probably did some good stuff. And we don't look at a serial killer and say, well, they murdered 50 people, but hey, at least they helped old ladies across the street. At least they rescued cats from trees. So that makes it okay that they were a serial killer, because those good things that they did is something that we should look at. No. Like, they're a serial killer. I don't care if they rescued 10 million people from dying. If they're a serial killer, they shouldn't have any sympathy towards them. You know what I mean? So just because a Templar might do good things, it doesn't erase the bad that they do, and it doesn't excuse the bad that they do, just because they're doing some good stuff. And so with Haytham, even though there's things that he doesn't do, like there's innocents that he doesn't kill, that's great, but that doesn't make him any less of a Templar. It doesn't make him any less of a antagonistic character that should be stopped. You know what I mean? So anyway, the Kenway family gets really fucked over, and so unfortunately Edward gets killed, his son gets turned into a Templar, and his sister basically, you know, has to suffer through being a slave for all those years, and all that kind of stuff. Rosie, you just did. You tried, you mean? You turned around? You make, you don't know, porridge or something? Yeah, I wouldn't blame you, Rosie, for not continuing with the ride. Like, if that... Yeah. Like, because, you know, you don't want to get frozen, like, you don't want to get sick or anything like that. Actually, you wish you had one or two sequences in AC3 in which you could play as Haytham again, that shows his journey to free Caroline and take down Birch. That's really what Rogue should have been. Instead of getting what we got as Rogue, we should have just got a Haytham game. From start to finish, you play as him. And we experience that kind of stuff, you know. And so the prologue could be you playing Haytham, seeing his father get killed, and then you actually control him killing one of the Templars who killed his father, you know, as part of the narrative kind of thing. Hey Zaius. What's up? This game is fun, story is sort of vapid. You keep hearing Reginald bitch, lol, pardon my French. Yeah, that's what I like to call Reginald Birch. He's the Templar headmaster, or Grandmaster, sorry, in, well, in Haytham's lifetime. Shirley thinks she was a concubine first, and then as she was older, she was a normal slave. Yeah, I mean, I'm not too sure about that. I know Xiao Jun was a concubine. But, yeah. But still, you know, Haytham being lied to all those years about his sister, I mean, you know, that's a dick move, even for Templars to do. Spectrum, what about serial killer that only kills serial killers? Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, something like that would be different. But then again, if that serial killer had killed other people that weren't serial killers, then them killing serial killers wouldn't make it any better either, you know what I mean? So, as in, it wouldn't make the fact that they killed other people who weren't serial killers any better. Zaius, so you heard right. You did. Yeah, you heard right, yeah. That's what I like to call him whenever I talk about him or read database entries about him. You completed games in 2024 so far. Majora's Mask. Oh, nice, cool. Final Fantasy 9. You did basically all the hard work for those in 2023, though. That's good, Zaius. That's really good. I'm glad that you got those done. Here ends the unique playthrough. A playthrough that no one else in the world, as far as I know, has ever done. Which is, whenever a character tells Edward to wait to meet them in a certain amount of time, I actually waited that amount of time in real life. And this current stream you're watching takes place 4 months after the last stream. I made an exception for one part of the story where it says 4 months later on the title screen, or on the screen. That happened at the start of this stream. So the last stream of this was 4 months ago. So this is the final stream for that playthrough. So I'll skip the credits. And what we're going to do is we're going to raid out to Crocodiles, who's playing Guitar Hero World Tour, and the band members that he had the last time I checked were Nico Bellic from GTA 4, Ezio, Mr. Krabs, and Wrench from Watch Dogs. He installed some mods of over 50 characters to use as character models for the band members in Guitar Hero World Tour. So we're going to go and raid out to Crocodiles, but before we do that, I just want to give some shout-outs. Hello there, Ronnie. Welcome on in, dude. Just finished the unique playthrough how's it going, dude? Would like to highly recommend people check out Shillerlock, who's playing through The Quarry for the first time, one of the games by Supermassive. He's also a fan of their Dark Pictures series as well, and he's also played Until Dawn. He's also an Assassin's Creed fan, and most recently he did some challenge runs of Assassin's Creed 2 Brotherhood and Revelations, a no-death challenge where if he died at the start, well, if he died at any point, he had to restart the game from the start. He's also a fan of Dead by Daylight as well, and he's also doing, a playthrough of Skyrim. He did a first playthrough recently of Skyrim, and for his second playthrough he's going to be getting all the achievements for it. Also highly recommend checking out Grace. She's playing for the first time Red Dead Redemption 2, an awesome game. Sometimes she does games like Stardew Valley as well, and a whole other range of games. Highly recommend checking out Ginger Perks. Is playing through Lies of P at the moment. Most recently did a playthrough of Alan Wake 2. Is a massive fan of horror games and also RPGs as well, like Elden Ring and the Dark Souls series, and is also playing through the Assassin's Creed series. Got a few games left in that series to play. Most recently played through Mirage. So highly recommend checking out Ginger Perks as well. And also highly recommend checking out Maxi. He's playing through Star Wars Jedi Survivor. He's also a big fan of Assassin's Creed. Most recent game that he played through in the series was Assassin's Creed Mirage. He's got a lot of funny channel point rewards that have a lot of visual and audio memes and, all these funny sorts of things that can happen. Highly recommend checking out Lucinda as well. Doing a first playthrough of Alan Wake. Is also a fan of horror series, Resident Evil, The Last of Us, Evil Within. Also a fan of the Dishonored series. A great streamer, and is also playing through Assassin's Creed Valhalla for the first time. Also highly recommend checking out Sadie. Sadie is playing through Batman Arkham Asylum for the first time. Another great streamer with a really cool channel, so highly recommend. And also highly recommend checking out Ronnie. Ronnie, when he streams, wears a hat, and he changes what hat he's wearing depending on what game he's playing. So for example, with Red Dead 2, he wears a cowboy hat, and if he's doing a cooking stream, he wears a chef's hat. He's a great streamer with a really positive vibe as well. So highly recommend checking out Dr. Ronnie as well, as all those other great streamers too. No worries for the shout out, Schiller. Absolutely no worries at all. And same for the stream as well. No worries for that either. Thanks for the GGs, Ronnie. Muchly appreciated, dude. This was a playthrough that I began 7 months ago. This unique one. And 4 months ago was the previous stream. And then before that stream was 2 months of time and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it was good to do this playthrough. So yeah, the next stream that you'll see from me will be Assassin's Creed Odyssey, continuing my torch only challenge. We're going to go and raid to Crocodiles, sorry. There's a general raid message that people can feel free to use. And here is a raid message which has some free follower emotes. Actually, I need to re-edit that because there's some that are actually missing. There we go, that's better. So that version there that I just put in, that would be a better one to use that has some free follower emotes included. And there's a raid message for subscribers as well. Let's raid Crocodiles, see how he's doing with Guitar Hero World Tour. If you see me streaming Assassin's Creed Odyssey, then you know it's become Sunday for me. Next Saturday and Sunday will be Assassin's Creed Origins as well. Assassin's Creed Odyssey as well, doing the Torch Challenge. And then once that playthrough is finished, Red Dead 2 annual playthrough, then Red Dead 1 annual playthrough will be happening. Monday to Friday at the moment is Control, but I'll most likely finish Control next week and be able to make a start on Alan Wake 2 as well. It is indeed, Ronnie. It really, really is. Yeah, it's so funny seeing Nico Bellic singing on stage from GTA 4 and Ezio on stage as well, and Mr. Krabs and Wrench from Watch Dogs. Thanks again everyone for watching, muchly appreciated. Hope you all have a good one.